as far as we're hearing now that none of those missiles got through. But they promised more information on that, and we do think they're going to say something public. And bear in mind, this is a department that basically does no press, or hasn't done since the beginning of this administration. Very rarely. It had a press conference Sunday morning, but we're getting more in the last few days from the Pentagon than we've had in a while.
Gary, thank you so much for that. I'll let you get back to it, covering the reaction in the US. Crucial, of course, so many eyes will be focused towards Donald Trump and his response. Let's go back to the region now, though. We can go to Israel. Tel Aviv, my colleague Mark Lowen is there for us. Mark, it's been a pretty extraordinary couple of hours there. Just talk us through some of the response that we're getting where you are.
Yeah, Lewis, actually, let me just pick up on what you just asked Gary, because we've just actually here, even though we're not in the US, we've just seen the reports of a post on Truth Social by Donald Trump, the first post since the Iranian attack on that US base. And he has said this, he's actually hit out at US media reporting of the extent of the damage on the Iranian nuclear sites by the American bombs. He has said the sites that we hit in Iran were totally destroyed, and everyone knows it. Only the fake news would say anything different in order to try and demean as much as possible. And even they say they were pretty well destroyed. So interesting that Donald Trump has written on Truth Social not about the attack on the US base, but about the extent of the US bombing on Iran. Look, in terms of what is being said in the region, Israel is, we understand, is passing messages to Iran via Arab neighbours that it is keen to wrap up this war with Iran as soon as possible.
Fire vertically. There is some sound. Let's listen in. So that just gives you a sense of some of the latest images we have here. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps supplying those pictures of missiles.
An off-ramp to the US and by association to Israel.
Well, it's a moment of hype for Iran. Just after striking one of the United States bases, it regards itself as that it already retaliated to the attack that took place in Iran on its nuclear facilities. So it could be for Iranian diplomats, Iranian officials, a turning point, a moment where they can say, well, it's over for now, we can stop here. And if everything is halted, if there is a ceasefire from the American and Israeli side, then there's a possibility to go back to the table. And this gives probably a chance for a different approach. However, it's not only the United States in this equation. There's Israel in this equation. And Israel, till the moment, has been striking Iran, targeting the Iranian capital. Iran has been retaliating, hitting different Israeli cities. So there's already another war that's being fought. It's not only between the United States of America and Iran, despite what the Iranians are offering. So now, after this attack, the Iranians believe that the account has been settled and the chapter has been closed. But it all depends on how the American administration is going to react to this attack, and whether there are going to be other attacks this night towards bases in other Gulf countries or in Iraq. So this is the bottom line over here. However, on the other side, the Iranians have been trying also to mobilize international solidarity. And we saw today Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi visiting Russia, yesterday meeting with the Islamic countries in Istanbul, meeting the Turkish officials. In a way or another, Iran is trying to make use of this moment. It's not only a moment for Iran. Iranians believe it's a moment for the world, because the threat that Iran has been under in the past few days Iranian officials believe is a threat that might extend to other countries. However, other countries might not be interested in this narrative, and this could be the case to states like Russia, for example, who is already involved and busy with its own very war in Ukraine.
Ali,
so now getting back...
If I could just jump in there, I just want to get an idea of the time here today. I mean, how did Iran try to frame this attack to allow all sides draw a line under this chapter, as it is hoping will happen?
Well, Laura, you know, there was a war raging since last week between Israel and Iran. Israel started with the very quick and shocking moment, killing the Iranian military leadership. Iran restored the initiative, had the appointments, started by hitting Israeli cities, and okay, we continued this way. It was like a status quo for around a week, and that was started just a few days, couple of days before the 6th round of negotiations between the United States and Iran to the conflict over Iran's nuclear program. Then the war started, negotiations went off, diplomacy isn't anymore the case. However, on Friday there was a meeting between the Iranian foreign minister and foreign ministers of three European countries, the UK, France and Germany, in Geneva. What happened here is that just a couple of days after this meeting, there was the American involvement and the attack on the three major Iranian nuclear facilities. President Trump said, and is now stressing once again, that the three nuclear facilities...
Yeah, just finally, just briefly, Ione, we have been talking throughout the day about Israel's strikes on Iran and that continuing military effort. Any sense that these retaliatory strikes from Iran on that US military base will have any impact at all on the Israeli plans?
Well, Israel, I think, on with its plans no matter what, really. It is working its way through its list of targets associated with the nuclear program in Iran. It has confirmed that it's carried out further strikes on some of Iran's nuclear sites today, as well as further military targets. It's also talked about targeting sites associated with the Iranian regime. It has, for example, targeted Evin prison today, somewhere where it's understood that various political prisoners who opposed the leadership in Iran were being detained. It's not clear what damage may have been done to that prison, what the state of any prisoners may be, but certainly it is clear that Israel is carrying on with its plans regardless. It is hoping as well that it is managing to do significant damage both to Iran's defense capabilities but also to its missile capacity as well, its capacity to fire ballistic missiles back towards Israel. So at the moment, Israel continues to provide these regular updates of sites that it is hitting in Iran, and that doesn't seem to be changing despite these other escalations in other parts of the region.
Ione, thank you very much for that. So let's take stock as we reflect on where things are coming up to, 3 hours or so now, 2-3 hours after these strikes. Time now in Doha, Qatar, is coming up to 10 p.m. So we know that strikes, missiles launched from Iran, and we now have these first images released by Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps showing missiles being launched vertically up into the sky in clouds of smoke, up into the dark sky there